Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be showing you how to make a canvas painting. This is an example of a painting I did earlier, and as you can see with paints, it's a lot of fun learning how to blend colors and mix them together to make it look nice. So this is an owl looking at a sunset, just an example, but you can really paint anything you want, which is kind of the fun of this craft. So to start off with this, you're going to need a blank canvas, a pencil, a container or cup of water, a brush or two, however many brushes you happen to have, and some paint. So you can either use watercolor paints or you can use these acrylic paints, which you don't need to add water to. I'm going to be mostly using the watercolor paints today. So before you even start your painting, you need to think about what you want your painting to be. So for this one, I did a sunset with an owl, and I started off just by drawing a little circle for the sunset to kind of get an idea of where it was, and then I also kind of drew some of the branches and the owl before I started my painting. Today I'm going to do something a little simpler. I'm just going to be painting a watermelon. So I'm going to start by just using my pencil, and I'm going to kind of draw just a really light outline of my watermelon. And again, when you're doing your painting, it can be anything you want. Maybe your favorite animal, or a nice sunset, or some sort of nature scene, maybe a car, really anything. The sky's the limit, so use your imagination. So there I've gone and drawn my watermelon. There you can, I don't know if you can see that, just a nice outline so I have an idea of what I want it to look like. Okay, so once you have an idea of what you want to paint and you've drawn a little outline and have an idea of what you're going to do, you're ready to paint. And also, you don't have to draw anything. You can just go for it and start painting right away if that's how you want to roll, up to you. So now we can start painting. So with watercolors, as you can see, when you take them out of the package, they are dry to begin with, so you have to add some water to them before you paint. So I'm gonna dip my brush in my water and start mixing it with the paint. And depending on what brush you have, this might take a while, but you want to just swirl your brush around in the paint until you get it wet. You might have to dip your brush in the water a few times, and now you can see I have some paint on my brush and I'm ready to paint. So now I can start painting my canvas. And when you're painting, just take your time. You know, the whole process of painting is just as fun as the finished product. So just have fun, use different colors. And I'm just gonna keep painting. Okay, so one thing you want to keep in mind while you're painting a canvas is that you also have the edges that you need to paint. So I've kind of started painting without doing the edges yet, but I'm gonna make sure I do that now because it can get difficult if you have to keep switching colors. So I'm just gonna quickly also paint my edges as I go along. Hopefully you remember to do that too. If you're feeling creative, another thing you can try and do is mix and blend some of your colors. So far I've been using mostly red on mine, but I want to try and make my red a little lighter for a more pink color for my watermelon. So to do that, I'm going to rinse my brush first before I use a new color, because I don't want to get this all messy and mix the colors up. And then I'm going to put some water on my white paint, and I'm gonna start putting that kind of on top of the red that I've done and mix it in, and it's gonna make a lighter red color, kind of a pinky color. I'm gonna keep doing that until it's blended how I want it. And there I have my watermelon, and I have some red faded to pink color there. So I'm just gonna keep painting. I'm gonna do the rind of my watermelon, and then when I'm done that, we'll start to see what I want to do for the background. And don't forget, when you are switching colors, to wash your brush in the water beforehand, so you don't mix any colors you don't want to. Another cool thing about watercolors is that if you want to make a color lighter, all you have to do is add more water to it, and it will dilute the paint and make it lighter. So here I have my green rind of my watermelon, and if I put some more green paint on and add some more water, then it just makes the green a little bit lighter in some areas, which is what I want. Okay, so now that I've done my watermelon, I have the watermelon drawn, and I've done the colors how I like it. I blended the green with some white a little bit too. Now I'm going to do the background. So I decided to do my background blue and yellow, and I'm just gonna kind of experiment with blending the colors a little bit and have fun with it. So let's see how it goes. Another thing you can do is experiment with different brush strokes. So right now I'm kind of doing some swirly brush strokes to make a little swirls in my background. Okay, so I'm done my background now and my watermelon. All I have to do now is add the seeds. So I'm gonna use my small brush, and I'm gonna add some black seeds. Okay, so now I've done the seeds on my watermelon, and I think my painting is done. So yeah, that's all you have to do for a canvas painting. And when you're done, you can rinse off your brushes and make sure you dump the dirty water down the drain, and then just make sure you wait for it to dry before you touch your painting and move it around. So some things to remember for your painting is some colors blend really well together and some colors don't. So for mine, for the background, I did yellow and blue, and you can see they kind of mix together to make green. So yellow and blue and green blend really well together. Orange and red and yellow also blend well together, and so do red, blue, and purple. Some colors that don't blend well together are opposite colors, like orange and blue, or red and green, or yellow and purple. So just remember that when you're doing your painting. That's all for the canvas painting. I hope you had fun learning about how to do this craft, and that it gave you some fun ideas for making your own canvas painting.